Here I go again. Here I go again. I'm in Los Angeles.
First draft for this team, this Madden series. So I'll show you guys a quick overview of like what I'm looking into getting in terms of like what we need on this team. Obviously, I'm not worried about cornerbacks or linebackers or anything. Obviously, our quarterback room is pretty much set for like a minute. Might look into bringing a running back in, but obviously I don't want to draft anybody over 70 overall, and I won't be drafting any first round talent anyway. So like I'll be monitoring who gets drafted when and like what their overall is. So that way I don't want to assign or draft anybody over 70 overall, because then I won't be able to assign them the next season. And I'm not going to be able to make any trades. So obviously I'll be looking at the overalls of the linemen. Try to bring in a center and a right guard or right tackle. Not too worried about the left end or right end. I'll convert some of these linebackers I got. Not worried at all about D tackle. Obviously we have as many as we need right now. Some of these linebackers will be moved to left end and right end. Not worried about signing any linebackers. Obviously we have like what, 5, 6, like 10. Yeah, 10 linebackers. So I'm not worried about that at all. Cornerback, I'm not too worried about it. I mean, if I see a guy that I like who's got really good speed, I might look into it. Free safety is a position I'll be looking into drafting, and then later in the draft I might look into the kicker and then maybe a punter. So that's where my head's at in terms of this draft. I don't know how many draft picks I have. I think I got all of them except for a few. So I have a first, a third, so I'll probably try to trade down into a second or a third round draft pick, depending on how good these players are. And then a fourth, fifth, and seventh. I might just end up trading away some of these picks, but we'll just start this draft. Don't want to simulate it, that would be bad. And we'll just, usually I just pause the draft to give myself as much time. Jets go first here. We'll see what 79 is the cap, so he's probably not the best player available. But 70, high 70s looks to be where we're at in terms of these players. So I'll just sim to my pick, and I'll have to trade this away because I'll have the last pick in the first round. See what kind of offers I get. Probably, hopefully a couple seconds. Ooh, what draft year is this considered? So this is the 2020 draft. So I'll probably try to trade within this draft because I have a few positions that I need to fill. But second and third round picks next year, that wouldn't be too bad. And that looks like what the going rate is this year anyway. Second and a fourth round, I might be looking into that. Second and a sixth. Second and a third next year, and a fifth this year. That might be my best option. But the Texans, they got a couple good players. So I think I'll just take this second round pick, which looks pretty high in the second round, and then a fourth round just to fill some talent. And 67, it fell off a little. So let's see. 65 is what they're drafting, so not too bad looking at what we have. And obviously I'm going to make a pick here, second round. So let's see what we have on the board. I won't go available, I'll go to scouted. Running back wise, there's a third round talent guy. Probably not too worried about taking him. Probably look towards, there were a couple tight end I was looking at getting, this guy being one of them. He's 21, has a pretty good vert and a pretty good 40-yard dash. Let's look at this guy. Now I could sit on this guy. He's a third round talent, and we do have the last pick in the third round, so maybe he might fall to us. Let's see. Lineman here. This guy might be good, and he might fall in our lap too. Power in the third round. I might draft him. Right guard, and he's a power. 6.4 grade. See, now I'm not too worried about letting some of these dudes fall into our lap. Let's see what we have. Cornerbacks. I mean, the cornerbacks this year weren't that good, so I wasn't really too worried about them. Now, this 5th round guy might be worth looking into. He runs a 4.48, but the only thing I'm worried about is that he might be over 70 overall. So let's go safe here. This dude looks pretty good. Tops in all his stuff. I guess I'll take this dude. 69 overall. That's really good. So right pretty much at the cap of what we want. And next I might be looking to take that safety just so that way he's one of those players that looks like I really want that man on my team potentially, depending on his age. And he's taken off the board, so we're not even going to be able to get him. That's a shame. But I mean, we still swung it out of the park with that guy. And the tight end that we took was drafted too as well. Let's see where this guy is on the board. I might look into taking him. 23. And this man is also on the board. He's also 23, and he's got a 6 combine compared to a 5.1. So yeah, I'd take this guy. 67, also really good pick for this team. It looks like linemen are going to be the way to go. I would have definitely taken a... Now, later in these drafts, if I don't see the guys that I want, scouted is what I want. Now, no good running backs. Still a pretty decent 4.53. He might be slow depending on how the ratings flop out for that. This man is still 2nd round talent on the board. And he does have a 5.6 combine. He doesn't rank too high in any of the combine reports, which I'm a little bit worried about. And there's no other good talent here. In terms of line, we'll see if there's anything else that I scouted over here. A bunch of bad round picks. Now 5th round talent, not exactly what I was looking for, but he does run a 4.5, so I might take him later. Obviously we got a ton of good kickers here. This way, guy with A+ power. This was one of the men I was looking at taking in terms of kicking. Him and him. Didn't scout any of the punters, so I might just take this lineman over here. 70 overall, exactly nailed on the head what we want. That's nice. Our line is definitely getting better this season. Last year is pretty drab. Now I might start looking into trading away our draft picks if some of this talent starts to fall off. Now I was looking at getting a power back because I did want like a 3rd and 4th down back. This dude did combine well, very well. 7 combine. He ran a 4.49, which is pretty damn good, and his bench press was outstanding. Number 1, carrying, vision, and stiff arm all being well. I do have a 5th round pick, so I could sit on him. He's 7th round talent, but it does look like a lot of those dudes are off the board. Now that dude was pretty slow. Let's see if there's anybody else here worth taking. In terms of linemen, 5th round talent. I don't really like going too late into these rounds because usually a lot of these dudes fall off, and I always look afterwards to see if there's anything of value that I missed. But I do want to see how that safety turned out. 4.5. He did run the 4th highest. But he is 6th round talent, so I might be able to just sit on him and see how that turns out. Now this man ranked top 10 for a lot of things, but he is 6th round talent, which is pretty late. Thought about taking this receiver, but skills position, this is one of those things that comes dime a dozen, so I'll just trade away this pick here. See if I can get like a trade up into like the 3rd or 2nd round of next year. 4th round looks like the going rate, so we'll just take Jags are pretty awful and they got a ton of cap space, which means They did not do a whole lot of improving this offseason. And we'll see if one of these guys is here late in this draft. Maybe take that running back. That running back is off the board, so I'm not too worried about that. That receiver's off the board. So yeah, I might just look into trading away the rest of the draft picks I have here. And those kickers, I mean, those I would waste the 7th round on them, but those kickers, I mean, if I don't get any good trade value, I might just take one of them anyway because I already got 2 that'll be in competition throughout the preseason. But I mean, I won't let any of you guys see that because like that's boring as hell. Nobody cares about the kicker competition at the back end of the roster. Now this guy is decent, but he's only 6th round talent. Those dudes that were really good on this in this draft were higher than that, so I might just trade away these last few picks here if I can get a decent value. If not, I'll just take shots in the dark for whoever. Now 4th round, I'll definitely take a 4th round. 4th round is where you can steal a lot of good players. 3rd and 4th round are like the hottest rounds in the NFL for stealing huge picks. Dak Prescott obviously being one of the more notable 4th round picks recently. A lot of good skills position players comes out of the 3rd and 4th round. Not really getting any value out of these 6th round picks, so I might just draft people here. Or out of these 7th round picks. Let's see who's left on the board. Probably just a lot of shit players, obviously. Bunch of undraftables. No real good tight ends. Obviously a left tackle here in the 5th. Might take a stab in the dark just because he's 5th round talent and he's a lineman. We needed people just to fill in. Another guy rated undraftable. How old is he? 24. He's a little bit old, but I mean obviously if he just fills a position need. Not too worried. Obviously a lot of the other guys being like 28 and older. Ooh, this guy ranked pretty good. Pursuit, hit power is not one of the things I really look for, and he's 5'9". He runs a 4.5, which isn't too great. Let's see some of these safeties here. This guy might be looking to take a stab on. Let's just take a shot in the dark here. 60 and hidden dev, 90 speed. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. He might be a player worth looking into. And this last one, if I got like a lineman, let's see actually the draft value. 6th round, not really worth anything. 6th round picks are one of those things that I just keep trading away year after year, trading up into 5th and then 4th and the 3rd. So they take a minute to pay off anyway. Now left tackle, this dude is power, so I'll just take him here. And obviously we don't get to see what he is until after this draft is over. But looking at the draft recap here, I think we took like all linemen. Yeah, all linemen and then a safety we took a stab on. All these dudes are, these 3 dudes right here will probably be starting for me this season, seeing as how they're all 23 and younger. Let's look at the draft overall. I don't really care about the highest players because clearly we weren't going to be able to draft them anyway. Let's go to the free safeties. I wanted to see how that one guy turned out. Oh, you can't even look position by position. That sucks. The safeties will be here towards the back. I can't even remember the guy that I wanted to take, but if it was this guy, speed wasn't really there and he's a little bit over what I wanted, but if it was speed on these safeties weren't that great. We had one of the faster safeties in this draft. That's why I worry about safeties. This dude is slow as shit. None of these players really amounting to a whole lot. I should have caught that dude's name. This dude, it might have been a good pick. See, the only thing I worry about is their acceleration was slow. Let's look overall. I mean, we stole some of the best players in this draft. Let's go by overall. Just look here, try to make this a not too long of a video, just in terms of a draft. See, now not a lot of these guys. This is a guy I would have loved to have. Obviously, we got his counterpart here, who was just as good, in the same age and everything, so not too worried about losing out on anything there. Let's go in terms of who is the fastest. Usually cornerbacks. This dude would have been amazing. This dude I would have loved to have on our team. Marcel Barty. I might look at adding him even after this all wraps up. But that'll do it for this video. If you guys like these videos, keep watching. Love to have you guys back to see all the other videos. Obviously, I'll be making the end of this free agency video after we settle up with the final roster. Obviously, there's 53 men. We got 40 now, which I'm not too worried about, filling a bunch of gap positions. Really happy with how this draft turned out. I didn't get the safety that I wanted, but I mean, looking at how the speed was on those guys, it might have not even been a guy that I would have wanted on this team anyway. So they weren't really matching the speeds that I like, and that's one of the things that I hate about skills positions in the draft. Is it's really a hit and miss with their speed. Obviously, we had the highest rated safety in terms of speed, and he still only had 90 speed. So, and speed kills in Madden, and it's really what I look for in terms of cornerbacks, receivers, running backs, quarterback, and quarterback's one where speed really doesn't matter. Obviously, Tyree is the fastest quarterback on this team, and Brett Hundley was another fast quarterback, but I signed him purely because Tyree's just a player that I'm looking to build in terms of like the future, like down the line or injury prone. I might at some point, based on suggestions that I get, I might turn injuries on if you guys want to see more of that dynamic. But that'll do it for this draft video. Really happy, got a ton of good linemen and a potentially good backup safety. So, and we also traded into some good draft picks next year, and we'll obviously have our first round that we'll be able to trade away next year into a second or a third or a couple picks. So, thanks. Come back for more content. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on this. And
yeah, Lord Fraser in this bitch. Yeah, yeah.